So we lost our second game to a rogue, so happy to see another rogue.
I will fight with honor.
But that's okay. It put us into the one loss bracket, so we'll be going up against people who have one loss, and hopefully we can beat that quality of deck. Don't really care to keep my cycle card around if I can help it. Speaking of cycle cards. Well, we got equality. All we need is consecration, and turn 6 we're resetting the board. Turn 2 hero power is usually a pretty bad move on your opponent's part. But it's a rogue, so the hero power is slightly less bad than normal. Hitting the face, huh? Hero power turn 3? Oh my god. We're in the money. So I can do something silly, like I can put this guy down and then like coin Blessing of Wisdom. Is that a bit all in? I feel like it might be a bit all in. Not to mention, I think we're gonna want to coin on turn 5 or something. But maybe it's not that bad. Besides, it feels like we're kind of dumping our hand, but we're getting a card. And perhaps we're even getting 2 cards. So that should hopefully make up for the fact that we are just dumping a lot of cards on the board. I mean, look at their board right now and tell me it's not good.
Winter is here.
Okay. So that's a bit rough, but I guess we can hit both of our guys in and buff our 4/4 up to a 5/2. Do I want to play this guy out?
Quest accepted.
So we got our weapon removal. Alright. So I can actually play this, which removes the weapon. So even though it leaves my my questing adventure at 1 health, my opponent will still have to re-equip a dagger. They can't just trade in. So maybe that's better than the Bittertide Hydra, actually. But the Bittertide Hydra is just so many stats that maybe it's silly not to play it. Maybe I'm overthinking this. But yeah, I think removing my opponent's ability to deal 1 damage is reasonably good. Right? That what do you call it? The plant? Yeah. So this is where the Frost Elemental kind of shows its stuff. I can freeze this and then hit face with my 5/5. I'll have 10 on board. And then for the next turn.
Let me think.
So that doesn't necessarily set up lethal, but it does prevent this trade for 1 turn that I'm not too keen on. Shiv? Okay. Dealing that remaining 2 damage seems like it'll be kind of difficult. So do I want to do any trades this turn, or do I just want to push face? I think maybe I'll just hit in with 1, like play down my Bittertide Hydra. Bittertide Hydra is lethal next turn. I'll try not to hero power because I don't want to die to mind control tech. I don't know how common mind control tech is in Arena, but like the 1/1's not going to do too much for me anyways, will it?
my share.
I guess it would deal with this.
Yeah, beat it.
Chose to kill that one, huh? Well, we got another strong thing coming down this turn, so... If our opponent couldn't deal with that last turn... I mean... I guess they can kill my Bittertide Hydra, but... So, once again, I'm just out of lethal range. I'm feeling okay about this. Oh no, the lifesteal. We got consecration lethal. Oh man, wait a minute. So I guess that's certainly a play I could make. I could like equality shoot the guy, but like I'm not in any rush. Don't forget that this guy spawns a board full of 1/1s, so like we'll always be able to get the damage somehow. This guy's just holding on by a thread. Vanish. You're just delaying the inevitable. Alright. Can we play that alongside anything? So do I just want to play out the 7/7 again? I mean, it's still lethal with my shooty man.
Reporting for duty.
This guy's got a lot of stall. Is he a combo deck? He got Eviscerates and whatever the Death Knight is. I have the 1 damage I need in hand, so... Oh, well, my opponent does have quite a bit of lifesteal, actually.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Give me a consecration, huh? Nope. Well, I don't know if my opponent's forgotten about this card yet, but... I don't know if I should have hit face there, but... It removes a lot of damage. Is this the same guy? Another Ogre Magi cheap shot combo. One off. This can spawn a taunt though, so maybe we equality, consecrate, play this guy, hope for a taunt is our out.
Let me think. I must move quickly.
And here comes Goldshire Footman.
Nice to meet
Nope.
you. Well played.
Okay. No, well played for my opponent. Nice to know we've got a rude person on our hands. The other 2 games I recorded before this one both went 5 and 3. So it would be really unfortunate if the first one that's like up to my standards of recording was really poor, but
Soul shall be mine. I will fight with honor.
you know, I've made comebacks from this sort of position before. Just gotta hold on to a playable 3. Rough hand, but maybe we can get some sort of sick divine favor play. So let's get the snowballer out. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a snowball card, but please don't kill my thing. Alright. So I think this is fine. I'll leave it up just so that I get the minion. And that's a good minion. It answers my opponent's 2-drop pretty well. Or is this a 3-drop? Yeah, it's a 3-drop. I'm feeling pretty good about this game so far. Let me just look at the incongruency on the board. 3 for a 3, but his 3 was played on turn 4, so... Cycle, and keep on generating 1-drops all day. You're getting your day in the limelight, shrieking shroom. I do think I want to keep this out of range of like a mortal coil or something. So this board's pretty weak into Hellfire, but this doesn't die to Hellfire. I kind of feel like we would have seen Hellfire by now. I mean, my opponent could always draw into it. Or tap into it, if we got enough mana. Wait, what part of the hand did that come out of? Have you had an answer to that card for a while now? So, I guess this just goes in. Maybe I should have done the 2-3, I don't know. If I play this out, like, 6 cards, I have 6 cards, so... This would be the Arcane Intellect, right? Let's see if I learned the... Yeah, it's gotta be right. So...
The light dims.
Let's cast Arcane Intellect. And... I'm feeling pretty good about my board so far. Don't feel the need to commit a bunch more stuff into it. Did I attack with this, or did I play that out this turn? I'm not sure. I haven't been paying a lot of attention because this game is kinda playing itself. Defile. Pretty poor Defile, right? Oh wait, no. I set up a good Defile for my opponent. Is there a way I could have avoided that? I'm not sure, but we'll just laminate 8.
Reporting for duty.
Play a 1/1.
Warriors of the frozen wastes, rise.
Aldor is a hell of a card.
Give me a quest. Follow the rule. The battle. The battle. Reporting for duty.
And I'm not gonna play this guy down. I don't want to risk setting up another Defile now I'm thinking about that. Defile's pretty rough with a Bitter Tide Hydra out as well. Smack yourself in the face. Gain lifesteal. Lifesteal's a lot of good if you don't even get the chance to attack. Oh, never mind, it's getting the chance to attack. I guess I can play this out to protect my 8/8. My opponent will go up to 10. If my Bitter Tide Hydra survives and my dragon dies, then I suppose Consecration is still lethal. And I have 2 shots to draw it on top of my...
Mushroom power.
Well... I think maybe I'm just gonna go for 2 cards here. Hopefully it's a Consecration. No dice. So if we hit face, he goes down to 8. Then he goes up to 14.
Leave me be.
I don't think we can afford to trade into this guy. I don't know if the value game necessarily favors us. While we have ways to generate resources in our hand, our opponent's a warlock, and warlocks can go long. So I think we need to push as much damage face as we can.
My eyes are open.
Alright.
Unleash me.
So I think that's fine. I could try to hit Consecration with that, but then I couldn't cast it. I think I'm gonna try to do this, and I'm gonna hope to get like a taunt. No dice. But maybe Wind Fury is fine. I guess +1/+1 is just better. Alright. Drain Soul is rough. So we can deal 8 to face. Our opponent's threatening 13. So my opponent would need to come up with 3 damage. I think I want to hit my Equality Consecration at some point soon. Hey, speaking of, do I think it's relevant to hit either of those? Maybe I want to Equality this ahead of time. Yeah, because I'm actually winning on the value game at this point, aren't I?
Let me think.
So I can like do this. It's likely that my 5/1 trades into 7/1. And then I can Consecration down the rest of his board. So I feel like I've actually turned the corner and I'm favored again. It's felt pretty dicey for a while. Sure you don't want to play something down before that, or... Guess not. This feels like a pretty clear turn. We're 1 off lethal, but Warlock has a lot of lifesteal these days, huh? Alright. That's a Malagos. Let's just do something like this.
Is my destiny.
Build up a sticky board. So this game was pretty close to points, but I think we've done it. I don't want to speak too soon. I think one of the things I want to look back at is whether or not I could have played around that defile. I wasn't thinking about it, honestly. Alright. That doesn't do anything, does it? No, it really doesn't do anything. Well played. That was a real scraper of a battle. We were scraping for it. Just absolutely scraping for it. Jeez.